This video is the second in the series for Lesson 5 of the Matrices unit. It will cover translations with matrices. The operation that we will use to carry this out is matrix addition. Now it's worth noting that depending on which direction we move, we might actually be using matrix subtraction. When we translate geometric figures using matrix addition or subtraction, what we do is we take our vertex matrix and we add or subtract what is called the translation matrix. Now we talked last semester about vectors, so it's pretty much that vector repeated over and over and over again. So down here we have a rectangle, and we're being asked to find the location of the image of that quadrilateral after a translation down 5 units and right 6 units. So we talked about vectors, HK, in the previous semester. So the first coordinate there, the H value, tells us left or right. In this case, we're moving right 6 units. So that would tell us that our H value is equal to 6. The K value, since we're moving down 5 units, K would be negative 5. So if we were writing this as a vector, our translation vector, which is always listed HK, would be positive 6, negative 5. That tells us to move the image right 6 and down 5. So what we do is we create a vertex matrix, which means we need to name these points. So let's name this corner A, and then work our way around the outside, B, C, D. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a vertex matrix out of those points. A is located at the point 3, 8, so our first column would be 3, 8. B is located at the point 6, 0. So our second column would be 6, 0. C is located at the point negative 4, negative 4, left 4 and down 4 from the origin. And D is located at the point negative 7, 4. So we list those, each point as a column with the X listed in the first row and the Y listed in the second row. Again, we covered that in the previous video, but that is called the vertex matrix of that quadrilateral. It allows us to recreate that picture because it gives us the coordinates of each vertex, each important point. So what we're going to do is we're going to carry out matrix addition by adding what's called the translation matrix to our vertex matrix. And the translation matrix is a very simple idea. The first column here is X. So we want to add H6 to each of our X values. So each of our X values in our translation matrix will be a 6. So since there's 4 columns, we put 4 6s in that first row. Same for the Y's. We want the Y's to move K units. So since K is negative 5, we put a negative 5 in each of the Y positions in our translation matrix. Now when we do that, the end result is that we will be adding these together. Now I've left myself no room to work, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjusting here. Have to make this fit. So we go through and we add those together. Now when we add those together, remember what we're doing is we're adding each position in the matrix. So 3 plus 6, that would be 9. 6 plus 6 would be 12. Negative 4 plus 6 would be 2. Negative 7 plus 6 would be negative 1. 8 plus negative 5 is 3. 0 plus negative 5 is negative 5. Negative 4 plus negative 5 is negative 9. And 4 plus negative 5 is negative 1. This solution matrix is the location of our image. It is a vertex matrix for our image. The image of A is at 9, 3. The image of B is at 12, negative 5. The image of C is 12, negative 9. And the image of D is at negative 1, negative 1. So we go to our graph and we graph each of those points. Now I do realize that one of those points is not going to fit on the grid. So be it. We can get nice and close without too much of a problem. So 9, 3, right 9 up 3. 12, negative 5 would be about right here. That's probably close enough to give us an accurate picture. 2, negative 9. And negative 1, negative 1. Then we go through and we play connect dots with those points. So we connect each vertex to the one next to it. in the order they're listed in the vertex matrix. And if you see, that is exactly the same shape, only that shape has been shifted right 6 and down 5. So this is the image of A, this is the image of B, this is the image of C, and this is the image of D. Right 6 and down 5 from our previous image. Let's do another one. So here's a pentagon. We're being asked to use matrices to find the image of this pentagon after a translation up 2 units and left 3 units. So up and down is our K. Up is positive, so K is 2. Left and right is our H. Left is negative, so H is negative 3. So our translation vector would be, again, HK, negative 3, 2. It's always HK. So we need our vertex matrix, so we need to name these points. Say we start there and just work our way around the outside. A is located at the point 2, 7. So that's our first column. B is located at the point 5, 1. C is located at the point negative 1, negative 4. D is located at the point negative 7, positive 1. And this last point should be an E. I don't really know why I wrote D again, but we can easily fix that. Point E is located at negative 4, 7. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that matrix, and to it we are going to add our translation matrix. And again, our translation matrix is simply the same column over and over and over again until it is the same shape. So 5 columns where each of the first row entries is negative 3 and each of the second row entries is positive 2. So again, each column will be our translation vector, x, y. Then we go through and we add those values up. So we have 2 plus negative 3, which is negative 1. 5 plus negative 3, which is 2. Negative 1 plus negative 3 is negative 4. Negative 7 plus negative 3 is negative 10. Negative 4 plus negative 3 is negative 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 1 plus 2 is 3. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 7 plus 2 is 9. Again, these points are the images of our various points from the pentagon after the translation. So we'll graph those points. We have there negative 1, 9, 2, 3, negative 4, negative 2, negative 10, 3, and negative 7, 9. So if we connect the dots on those points, we will have our image after a translation of left 3 and up 2 units. Last one got away from me a little bit. Let's get that fixed. There we go. And labels, this is A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, and E prime. That takes care of translations.